what does your check engine light really mean? Many people drive around with their check engine light on for months on end, sometimes years on end, until they have to go in and have their e-check completed. This may or may not be a bad thing for the engine. However, in all cases, that does mean you have a problem. What the check engine light really means is that the computer systems in the car have determined that there's a problem with the vehicle. They then look at that vehicle and look for the same problem 3 times. So when they see the problem the first time, they put a little code in the computer that says, hey, let's keep an eye on this. The second time they go, we need to look at this one more time. When they see the same problem for 3 times in a row, it turns on your check engine light. Now that could be something as simple as a loose gas cap, it could be something like a dirty air filter, it could be something more severe like a bad sensor or a wiring problem, or it could be really bad like an overheating engine. In that case, you'd be doing severe damage if you continue to drive the vehicle with the check engine light on. So what needs to happen when your check engine light's on? Well, what it's basically saying is, hey, I got a problem, get me in and let somebody look at me. Just as if you or I had a fever or were really feeling bad, we'd go to the doctor and get checked out. We'd want the professionals to look at us and tell us how to fix us. Well, in our case, we are the professionals. So if you came to us, well, the first thing we would do is we would hook your vehicle up to what we call a scanner. When we hook up to the scanner, we read the same code that the computer has that set the check engine light to begin with. That code will then tell us an idea of what we need to do. Well, in most vehicles, there's over 2,500 codes that set a check engine light. So we got to find the code that's in there. Once we find the code, we then have to go and do the diagnostics to find out why the code is set. For instance, you may get a code that this sensor reading is low. That's all the code tells us. You got a pickup sensor low reading. So we have to then go in and check and see if we have the right inputs to this sensor. Is the computer telling it the right information? Then we have to check the wiring that goes along with it, and then in some cases actually pull the sensor out and test it. So there could be a lot more involved in this than just reading a code and saying you got a bad sensor. A lot of times in Northeast Ohio, we find that connectors are rotted or corroded, we find abrasions, we find many things other than just the part being failed. The second part of it is making sure what caused the failure isn't there a second time. If you do have a check engine light, you do want to check it out before you do have catastrophic failure with the vehicle. It's one of those things, the sooner you get to it, the less money you're going to spend to fix it.